The Agnelli Story Home Collection is a interpretation of people who have had an immense impact on who I am and who the company is. The goal is that whoever is walking the home, they feel that energy in that presence of the person in the story magnified there. My mentors are not just people that are well off. I try to reach out to mentors or people that impact me because of their well-rounded sense of life. OTTO was one of the ones that really affected me with that site. I saw this as a guy who I wanted to emulate because he didn't judge you for anything that you were going through. When people see this home, what they see is OTTO.
Big smiles. Hey, do you mind? Big smile. What's going on? Hey, we'll change this stuff. Oh, watch out. 3, 2, 1, smile. James, smile. Big smile. There you go. Nice. Before we had Mila, our baby, 6 months ago, I was like, I like capturing moments. I think iPhone pictures these days, like, you take a million pictures and you find the perfect one. I like imperfect shit. So the thought was like, I have one for personal and one for work where I take it around with me in my car every day and I just try to snap little moments of like, just reminders of like pure joy, right? Whether it's my wife like holding my baby and the baby laughing or the guys on the morning of OTTO being demoed. A big part of like what I love doing is capturing now. We haven't made it. We're not sitting on the top of the hill. We're not whatever, but it's the coolest thing in the world to like look back and say, oh my God, look at those times, look at those memories, look how far we've came. And that's the story, right? It's just in real time. So, and I like how Polaroids, they look old and I don't know, it's kind of cute, you know? Good morning, guys. We are here at our new project, OTTO. We will be kicking this off today. We are in the process of scraping the house and starting the story. It's the coolest day to commence a project. We kind of give ourselves the blank canvas we're looking for, and then we start going from the ground up. It's really, really cool, guys, to be able to kick this off and to bring you along the journey. The ups, the downs, the sideways, it's fucking life. It's never going to go as planned. But I think that's the beauty in it. And I think that's when you lean on that little voice of OTTO or whoever OTTO is to you. And you push through and you believe in yourself. So the house is going to be so cool as it starts to come together. And we're going to bring you guys along in the whole process. So OTTO, I know you're listening to this. I know you're seeing us. I love you. I know you're watching us, and we do this for you, OTTO. So it means the world, and this is our testament. So we love you, bro. With the story collection, we are basing these homes off of people. I try to kind of picture the personality in the way I see them, at least in my head or memories or currently, and build a structure that tie to that personality as much as I can tie that line. With OTTO, the depth of his knowledge was immense. He had this class to him that just gave this aura of, you know, paying the dues to get where he was, not by chance, building from nothing in the Kohler company to being an executive of the Kohler company. I mean, it's just about that same chip on the shoulder that Agnelli Enterprise really has, which is always just becoming better and reaching for more. When I saw OTTO originally in my head,
which is what you have to lean on a lot. I saw it as like a U-shaped. I wanted a courtyard in the middle. I wanted it to feel open and airy, like a lot of glass where you feel like you're inside and outside at the same time. Symmetry is always a huge thing with me in building. So having symmetrical concepts, spring points, like where's the eye looking always up, trying to bring a more volume aspect to a space. And sharp lines, you know, some areas in stories call out for more kind of endless rounded, where I saw OTTO as, again, sharp lines and organized and classy and just fucking OTTO. It's OTTO. A lot of times spec homes don't have character because they're not being built for someone, right? It's hard to tailor a concept to someone that isn't for really anyone specific. And so you walk into a lot of spec homes and it kind of feels like a bunch of white walls and an empty, soulless space. And, you know, these developers or builders will say, well, you know, we don't want to customize it too much because then someone won't like it. Well, my bold take on that is no. I think that if you build it for the one of one person or one of one taste, there will be someone that walks into the space and falls in love with it right there and feels seen. Our why behind our Agnelli homes is that soul, which gives us a vision and makes everything more clear when we're kind of designing now for someone a story, right? Compared to going into a spec home where you're like, okay, well, it's going to look pretty. What the hell does that mean? So that's why our purpose and our clarity and our vision is so strong, is because it's something that we believe in, and it's something that we're proud to be a part of. When I compare it to a restaurant or a meal, right, you have a dessert chef, you have a main chef, you have a sous chef, you have a guy on the grill, you have a guy in the deep fryer, you have an expo, like you have these different elements. And in the end of the day, we're the head chef. They're making sure that everything that's being put together is delivered correctly and right. And we're the one that sign off on it. We're the one that walk out to the table with it. And that is our heart and soul into the meal. But the better design professionals you work with, you should be able to express the overall goal and vision of the story better. And that's kind of the goal with trying to work with the best. The best is help me pull out more juice out of the story as I can and reflect to OTTO what we're looking to show the world about his personality. And we start with the macro, and every week every meeting we kind of narrow down in on more specificities of the design and the breakdown of it. So with interior design, there's basically space layout, you know, textures and finishes, and overall functionality of space.
Good. How are you?
Good to see you.
Oh, isn't this nice? Give me a hug.
Good to see you guys.
You too.
Great.
All right.
Come on in. We're ready.
This is our spring point. Emily, I just showed Jackie. This is for you guys. It's a full permit set. We got there this morning. Again, really the only changes in the overall look of the home is, yes, is we took this roof line here, and instead of having a flat drop here, right, we kept it flush all the way through. And then here's that step up, right? So a lot like Helene, when you looked at like the front porch, there was that step up into that rake beam. It's gonna be very similar here like that.
Which will be nice because then inside, you're gonna get that really cool
Correct.
ceiling detail.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's a lot like Helene and a lot different in so many ways, you know? So when I had the order in my mind, it was implementing what you guys had given like first, but once the HOA kickback came, I had them focus on the architecture element of it.
That makes sense.
So, okay, that works out there. Perfect.
Great. Okay, that was easy.
So that direction is. When I initially brought the story to Jackie and her team, they got it. And that was huge to me because if you don't understand the premise of why and how, then you're not going to be able to understand the premise of what and implementing it. So as we continue to have these conversations and these meetings and having hour-long discussions about little intricacies of personality and touch and tones and textures, the coolest surreal moments for me is like in a meeting when you see like the eyes connect the dots of like, oh, that's not going to work and that's not OTTO, or, oh, I think for OTTO, I think that this finish or fixture would be right. Because to me, that's building a connection of the person that meant so much to me in that soul, and also these creators who have never met this person or soul, but now have a tie to them and a relationship to them.
It's very important for a designer to understand the meaning behind a project like this, because it's not like, oh, well, this worked out in our last project, let's put that in here. No, everything's unique and specific to this, and they gotta accomplish that in every decision, every color, every corner, you know, like to the smallest detail. Jackie and her team have been great. You have to be an artist to be able to do that, and they did. And I was blown away by our last meeting with them when they said, hey, this is the whole thing, here it is, all the selections. I was like, hell yeah.
So typically our clients they're couples. And so we're usually working with two people, and we have to do a lot of due diligence and figure out what do they like, dislike. This was very different. This is where we're designing a home around a particular individual. And so it was very intriguing for us because we'd never done that before. We've never really had someone say to us, we want to design this house based around our mother or our father or some very prominent figure to them. And so for me, that was an incredible challenge, but at the same time, Nick's able to really articulate who the character is and all the essence of the character. And from that, we can really build on with our own story of how the interiors and how everything should really play out.
I think when we're working on these projects, especially OTTO, we are envisioning, the relationship that Nick had with OTTO, and we're envisioning how much meaning this holds, and we want to make this so special. And they want the final look to be very unique and high-end. It's not always just about numbers.
Her team have been together for 30 years. She's been in business, and it's a testament to what they've been able to build and how they do it. But premier in Northern Palm Beach County, premier in the state of Florida. She has like dozens of trophies and all these titles. But moreover, she's involved and she leads from the front, which is huge to us. And so I believe that Jackie has a huge implementation process with the overall design.
It's going to be myself and the superintendent of the project, Dave, who runs it on a day-to-day basis in the field. And then with the design team, it's going to be Jackie and Emily from JMA Interiors. And they're going to be just making sure that everything is per the plan and per the design, making sure that at the end we're not having to go back and redo anything or tweak anything because it was done right the first time. And you can do it a million different ways. Correct.
I think that what people not fail to realize, but just see right past is all the conversations about little details, which sometimes seem mundane and kind of pointless. But what it is it's all these little intentional areas where it makes it seem right. Like when you walk in a space and everything seems right where it should be or right where it needs to be. Even talking about the glass size on the shower. I mean, we're in the rough-in phases and we're talking about the finishes to every detail. So I think it's just what people look right past is all those little conversations that go into walking to a home or a space, and it just feels perfect.
Did we end up making these windows a little bit smaller?
We took the same window size, we just bumped it out.
You bumped it out,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I know we talked about this on plan, nobody was really sure, but we were thinking, a great floating shelf here, just another little small landing spot. Yep.
Catch me on furniture layouts.
And then,
The built-in closet
are you
there.
still doing this door? Okay.
No, that's the one
Double
that
pocket.
changed. Yeah,
Yeah.
to the double pocket.
We can measure, I think there's space for a king in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the best projects and the best houses and the best teams is just encouraging that collaborative team, right, atmosphere.
I agree with you. And I think it's always great to work out the kinks on paper. We like to work it out all on paper. That's not to say things aren't going to come up in the field like you just saw. We're changing a little, we're tweaking some things here and there because maybe on paper they looked great, but in reality, they need tweaking. And so that's the evolution of a construction project.
He shows them all the way against the wall.
If it could move even over into this space right here, that just gives the homeowner a little bit more space for built-in.
Let's do that then, Dave.
Yeah, and they're gonna have space for built-in over there too.
No, thank you guys for coming out. I mean, the effort is obviously here, and for us, it's just about that transparency. You know exactly what we're doing, that there's no surprises in the end, and that we're consistently moving forward, right, on the same page. So a lot of the times just physically being here, seeing it is the biggest point to that. So thank you. And thank you guys as well. You're crushing. We're flying here. So
Good.
let's keep it rolling.
We like
Great.
And
we like
on to the next episode.
Yes.